Welcome everyone to the 6th round of the Super Chess Classic in Bucharest, Romania. Entering in is Anish Giri in great mood with his second and trainer Jan Smits. Anish is on +1 right now with his win against Alireza Firouzja. And there we have Wesley So coming in with his foster mother Lotus Key. They're traveling across the world right now. And there you have MVL coming in with his second or friend. I'm not sure. Maybe you can tell me in the comments who he is. Deac Bogdan Daniel there entering in with his mother, the local star Jordan van Foreest with his brother Lucas van Foreest. And Fabiano Caruana is here with Grigory Oparin. And in the background we have the Indian superstar Praggnanandhaa coming in with his mom and his second Vaibhav Suri. Praggnanandhaa also on +1 right now, so he did win his game against Javokhir Sindarov, and right now he has an excellent chance of defending his title in this tournament if he manages to win today's game against Deac Bogdan Daniel, because he's playing against the last seed of the event. Through Prague we can actually see what the venue looks like when you enter in. It is the Parliament of Romania, and Prague signing an autograph, giving an autograph before the game. Garry Kasparov's poster greets you as you enter in, and there are also chairs here for everyone to sit and enjoy the games. There you have Deac Bogdan Daniel taking on Praggnanandhaa. And Javokhir Sindarov, the World Championship challenger, comes in to face Fabiano Caruana. And there we have the guest who's going to make the first move on the board of Prague and Deac. And he chooses the move pawn to e4. And we have another guest who's here, who's going to make the opening move on the board of Caruana, and he chooses d4. So everyone going for different openings here. And then we have the ambassador of Netherlands in Romania, who's going to make the move on the all-Dutch derby between Jordan and Anish, and she plays her knight to f3. Anish approves of it. He's like, yeah, that sounds good. That's a good move there. And the games begin. Vincent Keimer is not present, the tournament leader, because he's facing Alireza Firouzja, and Firouzja withdrew from the tournament. It has definitely created some kind of an imbalance, his withdrawal, because all the remaining players will get 1 full point. Ooh, and Praggnanandhaa plays the Dutch defense. Wow. And meanwhile, we also have a very interesting opening in the Jordan versus Anish games. We'll analyze these games for you so that you have an idea of what transpired in them. Let's begin with the game of Sindarov versus Caruana. It started off with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. It was the Italian on the board, and the players played through the opening normally. And Sindarov went for a very typical plan in this position, which revolved around swiveling his knight from e7 to g6. Knight to g6, a5, bishop drops back to a7. He pushed his pawn to d4 Fabi here, rook e8, maintaining the structure, and then avoided the bishop trade. Knight at 7 gave a chance to Fabi to fight for an advantage, but as it turned out, he did not play accurately and in fact had to settle for a draw in a few moves. Knight h2, maybe here taking on g5 would have given him a very nice edge to play with. But instead he went here, and Javokhir managed to actually equalize the game quite easily at this point. It was interesting for me to note that here Fabiano Caruana actually agreed to a draw by moving his knight back and forth, and the players agreed to a threefold repetition. And personally, I think that Fabi could still play on, right? Like his knight is better than the bishop, but somehow maybe he didn't feel it, that it's easy to make progress. The knight can't go away, the rook could enter, double on the d file. So that's the reason why a draw was agreed in this encounter. We now leave you with some of the footages where Sindarov is interacting with the fans. You can see how popular he has become after winning the candidates.
Первый ход, день не пойдешь,
я не хочу.
Второе, я слышала, они хотят, чтобы ты пришел в трансляцию, если у тебя будет время, какое
Вот это
интервью
я
дать.
могу.
Можешь, да, к нам прийти на
Вроде
новый
бы.
час?
А вы точно там будете?
Я буду там, да, я продюсер.
Number
буду.
one, please.
Типа я не понял, только вот это, да?
И третий вопрос, это типа как мини-общение с фанатами, типа мини-лекции, не знаю, там, общение с фанатами в один из дней. Вот что-нибудь. В общем, короче, хотят от тебя всякого разного, но я понял, первый ход ты делать не хочешь,
Я
да?
первый ход не буду.
Точно не будешь, хорошо.
Не в одной.
Не в одну из партий, окей. Ладно, ну, на трансляцию к нам придешь, да? Вот пока все, ну, вроде да, он сказал, что будет. По новой как бы информации. Но я уже даже на всякий случай спросила.
Не, ну я все равно, наверное, скорее всего, не сыграю.
Да, ну я уже как бы с ними на связи. В общем, я 2/4, мы вместе летим, скорее на одном рейсе, поэтому если что,
Нет,
так на связи.
я думаю, что, скорее всего, на стрим я
На стрим ты можешь
соглашусь,
подойти,
типа,
да?
один раз подойти.
Да, ну да.
Ну, фан-зона, я не знаю, типа, сколько там.
По времени не так долго там
Нет,
может.
что просят от этого.
Окей, на стрим я скажу тогда, что на новый час ты, скорее всего. А какой день? Ну не сразу, да? Так через там пару дней в себя придешь. Правильно?
Да, типа, не
Ну,
сразу,
того,
там,
ну да, да.
третий, четвертый.
Четвертый день, хорошо.
Только единственное, что я попрошу, от них, наверное, я хочу там шахматами чуть позаниматься, мне нужно будет шахматы. И смогут ли мне предоставить типа, просто какую-то конференцию и так далее, чтобы
Посмотрим,
заниматься?
это новое место, это
Да.
Wesley. Ничего не знаю, приедем, будем
Чтобы
обсуждать.
тихо было и заниматься.
Приедем, будем
Если они
обсуждать.
это все сделают, я готов типа
Тоже всё
выйти, да.
А первый ход сделал?
Кроме первого просто.
Now let's go to the game between Jordan Van Foreest and Anish Giri. It started off with the English, and here h3 move was played by Jordan as a small surprise maybe. But very soon Anish got a very nice position. In fact, this is where Anish also had a better position according to the engines. But it was all part of Jordan's prep, and he went for this move f4, claiming space in the center while Anish played on the queen side. And this was already serious edge as you have control on the b3 square. This move by Anish, rook a6, perhaps wasn't the best. f6, and by the way, they drew their game. We go through this game. Rook a6, knight f3, and very soon Jordan started to get his play. And here c4 was played by Anish, bishop c7, and a nice tricky move, bishop d6, attacking the queen, trading off pieces. You get here, and now d3 to attack the bishop, takes. You could also take back with the a pawn. The position would have been roundabout even. d2, and now here Anish gives up the pawn to actually activate all his pieces. They go into a rook endgame. The back rank mate has to be prevented. So king g8, and now after the trade of everything, this is equal. Take, check, and the pawns were equalized. And look at them analyzing the Dutch number 1 and Dutch number 2. They analyzed, they had a lot to discuss with each other, and maybe Anish had good chances out of the opening and could have pressed better, but somehow Jordan managed to hold it, and Anish is still in the joint second position with 3.5 points out of 6. Let's hear what they are analyzing.
C3 would be an issue, yeah.
Could be
Oh,
game which one?
I just opened the endgame very fine. So
You are fine, yeah? No, I didn't know.
Well, maybe
it's
I misevaluated. I could
No,
be
no,
wrong.
but I think it's probably equal. I mean, I was initially thinking I'm better, then I thought maybe I'm not better.
I mean, I couldn't find anything after this whole F6. I was,
You playing for advantage there? Did you try to equalize? Yeah, because this is actually...
no, finally I decided to equalize.
Yeah, I think that's not... No, I was actually thinking... Yeah, but I was also misevaluating. I thought I'm better, so like... It's just...
I was looking at King F2 for a long time. What do you play?
Russia?
Yeah, rook, D1.
Bishop A6, I don't know.
Yeah, but G4.
Let's
I
say
can go
king
now.
is
I saw that.
G6 and king comes.
Yeah, I wasn't.
You have normal turn like the 3,
No,
check
but-
and bishop is
Yeah, but I always have rook D1 in the end. Then a check and
No,
bishop
check and
B7.
bishop is yeah. You don't you have like...
No, but
It's off then, potentially.
maybe I wasn't sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
This I don't think white is playing for advantage. I will check. Thank you.
So can I do also have one for me and one for my coach? Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's time for me.
Praggnanandhaa came to the mood in the game to fight for a win with the black pieces, but it became very clear that it was difficult for him as Deac is an excellent positional player. Look at this move, g5 by Prag. He went all out against Deac, and now after take here, knight takes, pawn takes, white always had an edge, but somehow Prag managed to equalize, and it wasn't really possible for him to fight for the full point. Like here, he's already comfortable. He's trying to maybe press a bit, but white always had activity. And here, by the way, trading here could have given Prag some chances as this pawn is weak, but he played rook b3, and then we went into a rook endgame very soon, where it was unclear who was trying to play for the win. I guess both players knew that it was just equal. Prag got active, tried to hold on to the pawn, but white got the pawn and then attacked here, and very soon black was a pawn up, but it was not sufficient for the win, and we soon saw the Philidor come on the board, and in fact they even went into a pawn endgame here, with finally the game ending in a stalemate as well. Let's just see the players playing out the final moves of the game. So for Prag, maybe not the best of the results, but also it's very difficult to play for a win with black pieces against a solid player like Deac Bogdan Daniel. Your opening has to work out, and for Prag that did not happen, and the players here agree to a draw, and there you have it. So the game ended in a draw, and after the game, Pragg went outside and was met with fans, which was wonderful to see.
Sorry, can I get one for my coach?
Wesley So had a realistic chance of beating MVL. They played the Sicilian, and White got a very pleasant position out of the opening. You can see how the game progressed here. White won a pawn, Black also got the central pawn, but here the resulting position was a knight on e4 versus a bishop. And in this position, these pawns did look weak for Black. And in fact, Wesley really played well and managed to put a lot of pressure on his opponent. But here, maybe stopping knight e2 check with something like rook d2 would have been nicer. But once they went into this major piece endgame, it did feel like Black always had enough to hold. And in fact, this was such an amazing decision by MVL to play this position and push his pawn to h4, just making sure that Wesley was unable to make progress. And in the end, he even gave up another pawn here to just hold it very cleanly to a draw. So an excellent defensive effort by MVL. You can see him relaxed there, while Wesley, well, he did push really nicely, but at top level the margin for a draw is usually quite high.
Okay.
No, check.
Yeah. Yeah. Check.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not so easy.
Because
Because I
take,
thought like rook a6 and
take, you don't have anything better.
I couldn't find it. I thought maybe d4, but queen c4, I wasn't sure.
Then
Queen
again,
e6 and some.
e6. Then
But maybe even queen d. I mean, I was not sure. So too many options.
you still lose a pawn.
Yeah, but it would be probably a better version. Because I missed rook e5 from the start. So like I thought also.
Rook a5.
Rook e5 I missed. This idea was rook e5.
After king h7.
Yeah.
Rook e5 is good. Yeah. Because if I go rook c8, it doesn't do anything.
Queen e4, yeah. I thought.
You have some check. Yeah. Rook e5, and then you have to defend.
Yes. But then I couldn't figure out
Maybe knight g5.
no, but also maybe my preparation said that this is risky for black. I cannot remember.
Maybe knight g5 after bishop